Our rules are simple, but the challenge is great. No shoulder pets, tames that can be carried, or typical boss dinos allowed. That means no Rexes, Therazinos, or any other dinos people normally use in these fights. Equipped with official server cap saddles, our 19 contenders will be backed by the commanding presence of a loyal Uteranus providing that extra boost. All competitors will go into battle with food to provide a healing effect. Herbivores will have plenty of sweet veggie cakes, and carnivores and omnivores will have cooked meat. No Overseer, because the movement speed required to get through the tech cave then chase the Overseer during the fight would shorten our list by a lot. It's important to note that tames in this series aren't typically used during boss battles because of the amount of mutations it would take to make them competitive. I'll be applying around 23,000 health and 1200% melee through mutations and experience levels to all dinos that compete. This will give them all a fair shot at defeating at least one of the Guardians. It won't always be feasible to reach these stats depending on the dinos I'm using, but I will let you know the amount of mutations and levels it took in order to reach it. All competitors start out with 50 base health and melee and 40 points in everything else before I apply mutations and experience levels. Use this information and decide on your own servers if the juice is worth the squeeze. Competitors are required to fight the Megapithecus, Broodmother, then Dragon on all difficulties, starting with Gamma, then Beta, finishing with Alpha. Their success will be annotated on this scorecard with a pass or fail system. Now let's introduce our competitor and see if they have what it takes. Carbonemys. This giant turtle is often found on the coastlines in Ark, making it one of the first creatures some survivors see when they first spawn. This is a docile creature that only comes packing a 59.6 armor saddle. The shell of the Carbonemys reduces damage by 80%. Their tail and legs take 50% and the head only takes base damage, meaning it doesn't have a headshot multiplier. The stats used in this challenge were reached with 27 mutations and 59 experience levels. 2 mutations and 30 experience levels went into health, and 25 mutations and 29 experience levels went into melee. Now let's see if these armored warriors have what it takes. I fired up the green portal and the Underturks started celebrating because they were ready to deal the Gamma Megapithecus a very slow death. Their speed made it pretty difficult to surround the Megapithecus, but eventually the Turtle Tango was fully underway. I will say that the damage reduction was pretty decent even with the lower cap on the saddles, and most importantly, every turtle attacked when within range. It would have been nice to see some higher damage numbers, but even with the small amount that they were dealing, I knew this was a better start than I expected. They put in some work and eventually crushed the Gamma Megapithecus, earning their first pass. In tranquil Turtle Town, tales unfold of the Gamma Broodmother, a bitch so bold. Through the tangled thicket they trudge and trot, these tenacious terrapins fought and fought. The turtles were in turmoil, but they were tenacious and thorough. They fought with teeth and tail like there was no tomorrow. The tales returned to Turtle Town at the triumphant hour, when the Turtle Tribe united and unleashed turtle power. The town full of echoes with tales well adored, slap a pass on the board, this victory is scored. There's no time to think about what the hell you just heard. Don't even think about rewinding it, because we're off to the Gamma Dragon Arena. To put it lightly, this fight was a shit show. The turtles actually had zero issues attacking the dragon, which was a huge breath of fresh air. The problem is, they're just slow. If you've seen previous episodes, you'll know that when the dragon lands and you engage him in combat, your crew will usually take a shot of fire breath. Now imagine taking that shot of fire breath and getting bit a dozen times, and possibly a second fire breath, before you can even get in striking distance. That's what I was dealing with here. Underturks started getting killed relatively early on, and the dragon took off 3 times. That's normally not that bad if you can get in quick and start striking him, but with the turtle, it's a recipe for disaster. I tried many times to divert his attack when I approached, but this just wasn't meant to be. And the Underturks got shell-shocked, earning their first set of fails for the dragon. The blue portal was up and the Turbo Turtles were ready to take on the Beta Megapithecus. The speed difference between the Gamma and Beta Megapithecus is quite a bit, and you don't truly respect it until you have to control a squad of slowpokes. He switched aggro a lot during this fight, and the Sasquatch squad that accompanies him caused a lot of problems during this fight. The knockback is so effective against slower creatures, and it caused me to spend a significant amount of time fighting off Gigantopithecus goons just so turtles didn't get pushed too far away. It wasn't long before turtles started dropping. This was actually a pretty dominating performance from the Beta Megapithecus, and after this one and the Doedicurus, I think it's safe to say that the lower caps on saddles really bring these soaker mobs down a peg or two. So far, actually, I think none of them have a shot, but we'll continue to test them because that's what we do. And they'll probably get beaten, just like here, earning a fail. The Beta Broodmother was up next, and let's be honest, you probably can guess how this one goes. The thing that surprised me the most was how quickly it happened. The Broodmother was on me faster than hell, and of course the slow turtles could barely surround her. I think she killed a turtle in record time, and then slowly started to pick the squad apart one by one. She turned it up to 100 and just steamrolled the Underturks. There was no mercy here. There would be no peace, no happiness, only death and turtle guts. Commander Utes and I held on as long as we could, but ultimately fell, capping off the night with a fail. Well, I had no choice but to change the scoreboard up and add a chunk of shit for a prize. The National Committee of Boom voted unanimously to revoke the Dodicarus's bronze Boom medal and created this entire new category for performances like we saw today. The Carbonemys earns a big old pile of smelly shit. That's number 20, folks, and this has been a hell of a ride. The center should be out soon, and I'll be starting another series on that map, so be on the lookout for it. I've had a ton of fun interacting with you all in the comments, so thank you so much for all the feedback and support. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.